Hello and welcome to my Awakening side channel. Just lighting a candle because, as you know, I'm well spiritual. I don't know if you've seen Watkins' Mind, Body, Spirit magazine, but I'm one of the world's most spiritualist people. In fact, I'm not far behind the likes of Pope Dalai Lama, Greta Thunberg, Sadhguru, Eckhart Tolle, Desmond Tutu, God rest his soul, Oprah Winfrey. Then it's me, Old Russ, the 8th spiritualist geezer in the world. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good going. Now, obviously, something like spirituality is impossible actually to say who's the most spiritual person, although you would assume that Pope Francis and the Dalai Lama have got to be up there after their lives of pure devotion. What's interesting to me is I've been on a wide variety of lists in my life. 2012, worst dressed man. I've been sexiest man before in something. Oh no, 33rd. Hold on, let me see where I was in sexiness. I was the 9th sexiest man in Essex. I was the 37th sexiest man in 2010. That's actually 12 years ago. Since then, I've had to migrate into spiritual lists. I suppose what these lists really are is an opportunity for this magazine to promote itself. But why not? We're talking about spirituality. This, after all, is a spiritual channel. And one thing that I was really pleased to note is that so many of the people in this list have been on Under the Skin, my podcast on Luminary. Sadhguru, he's been on, Eckhart Tolle, Gabor Mate, Wim Hof, Joe Dispenza, David Lynch, Deepak Chopra, Jay Shetty, Michael Pollan, Marianne Williamson, Graham Hancock, Rupert Sheldrake, the great Vandana Shiva, Julia Cameron, Michael Beckwith, Muji, Bruce Lipton, Edith Eger, Michael Singer, Byron Katie, Charles Eisenstein, Gabrielle Bernstein, all have been on Under the Skin, available from Luminary for a small subscription. If there is a valuable point to be drawn from this, firstly, I'm not getting on any of them style lists again anytime soon, I suppose. The most important thing, I think, is that spirituality is something we're all becoming increasingly aware of, and new ways of talking about spirituality is going to become increasingly vital as we recognize that our old paradigms and templates are shifting and falling apart. The reason spirituality will be vital is because all of us are going to have to learn to look inside ourselves and discover new resources. I'll give you one obvious example. We're going to have to find ways of reaching out to people that hold different opinions on seemingly vital subjects. We're going to have to get beyond our own political classifications and find new ways of mutually cooperating in order to create new systems. Because it's clear to me, and I know it's clear to you as well, that we can't go on in the direction we're heading for much longer. I suppose let's look at some of the people on this list. Pope Francis, obviously a new pope who's attempting to do things for Catholicism, it seems to me, in a new way, opening his heart in ways that previous popes wouldn't have been able to, having an open mind to social justice issues, for example, that would have been unthinkable 10 or 20 years ago. Greta Thunberg, a campaigner who has brought environmental issues and ecology to the forefront of people's minds in a way that's vital, being representative, as she is, by virtue of who she is, of youth and femininity and a kind of, what do I want to say, a devoted, saintly dedication to the issue that defines her. Sadhguru, an electrifying teacher and a kind of, what I want to say, a rock and roll swami. Eckhart Tolle, I think, who, like, for me, I understand spirituality at depth in ways that are simple by reading Eckhart Tolle, perhaps more than anybody else. Desmond Tutu, a campaigner, a devoted man, and who, as a friend and collaborator with Nelson Mandela, literally changed the world, changed issues around race, and contributed to the end of apartheid in South Africa. Even if you just take those few, you could start to understand the importance of change, devotion, dedication, inclusivity, a willingness to apply your spirituality to political activism. I was really heartened to see so many of the people on this list had been guests on our podcast Under the Skin, as well as academics and scientists and radicals and controversial thinkers. We have a lot of people with deep wisdom and expertise in the field of spirituality, because it's my belief that the meshing together of a set of spiritual ideals that help us to overcome previous differences and previous opposition, along with forms of political radicalism and a willingness to be active on social issues, represents the best chance we have of meaningfully changing the world. I don't think it can be done intellectually and rationally through reason alone. I think the world can only be changed when we personally awaken and collectively act. And so I am taking this opportunity of being included on a list that I'm more flattered to be on than when I was a sexy person, a sexy vegetarian, a best dressed man, a worst dressed man, a shagger of the year, all of the peculiar titles I've been afforded over the course of my career. I thought I'd take this opportunity to say that while I recognise all these lists are pretty arbitrary and, ultimately just a bit of a laugh, this does provide an opportunity to talk about spirituality, the significance of spirituality, and the necessity for all of us to embrace our personal spirituality. It can't be something that's only afforded to people that can afford leggings and membership of a fancy yoga club, or people that were born in a religious household or a religious community and either bonded to it or rejected it out of hand because of, some of the complexity we know can go along with those lifestyles for all of the greatness that they also encompass. We need a new type of spirituality, one that is tolerant and inclusive, one that recognizes the many, many flavors and styles and fashions and trends and deep traditions that the spiritual path can provide us with. We have to find a new ecumenism. A new ecumenism is what we need to find, where the various churches can come together in sisterhood to create new opportunities for all of us. Actually, I am glad I'm on the old Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit list at number 8. I'm going to fight to get to the Champions League places like my beloved West Ham. I'm going to get into those top 4 places. Who knows, maybe one day I'll topple His Holiness Pope Francis or the Dalai Lama and feature at the very summit of that list. But spirituality is something that we have to pursue collectively if we're going to achieve anything at all. Those of you that are already subscribers to my Awaken Inside channel, thank you for being on this journey with me. Those of you that are already subscribers to Under the Skin and Luminary and do my guided meditations there and listen to many of these great speakers, these are just some of the people that have been on that list and on Under the Skin. Join us over there. Join us on this path. Be a part of this conversation, this conversion, this pilgrimage that we are on together to mutual awakening, recognizing we need radical activism. We need that managed rage required to change existing systems, but we also have to have a change at depth, a change of consciousness, a willingness to reach out and embrace simple Sesame Street values, love, inclusivity, kindness, service. These are the ideas that are going to change the world. There's nothing more radical than that. Stay free.